What's up YouTube, it's your boy, the Mediocre Moose, here today to talk about nade bindings and why they're important. So what I mean by nade bindings is having a specific key on your keyboard that you can press to pull out each different type of grenade. So in my case, I use the F key to pull out a flashbang, I use V to pull out a smoke, I use T to pull out a Molotov, and I use 4 to pull out my HE grenade. So now there's two really good reasons why, if you aren't already doing this, you should start doing it. Alright, so a good reason you want to bind each of your utility to a specific key on your keyboard is so that you can still use your utility when you are totally flashed. So let's take a look at this example, right? We're a CT, we're covering bomb site B on Dust 2, and the terrorists are rushing me, right? Even if I get totally flashed right now, I'll still be able to pull out my flashbang because I know that by pressing F on my keyboard, it pulls out a flashbang. I'll be able to counter flash and hopefully slow down their rush. So if I get flashed, I want to still be able to pull out my flashbang and counter flash. You know, I could be totally blind and I can still throw counter utility, right? So let's say if I get totally blinded, right? I can still throw out a molly. I don't think I would do this, but I could while totally blinded, right? Because I have an individual key to that utility. So by default, the number 4 on your keyboard is used to toggle through each of your grenades. If you want to do a quick nade combo like this one heading into the B site where we're going to throw a smoke followed by a flash and then followed by another flash, you're not going to be able to do it fast enough if you only use the number 4 to cycle through your nades. Let me show you what I'm talking about. So like, that whole sequence was really slow and, you know, really cumbersome, and it's gonna mess up your rush, right? But if you had a dedicated button for both of your flash as well as your smoke, you could execute this a whole lot smoother. Alright, so let's take a look at that B-site rush again, using dedicated keys binded for each of your nades, right? So I'm using V for smoke, I'm using F for flash. So it's definitely better, right? Another example of this is over at mid. Let's say if you want to throw your mid to B smoke and flash yourself out, you could do that really fast if you have your keys binded instead of having to cycle through all of your nades each time you want to pull something out. Okay, so like in this case, let's say I throw my mid to B smoke, throw my mid to B flash, pop flash out the door, and I'm on my way, right? That whole sequence would take a lot longer if you had to cycle through all of your nades each time you wanted to do it. Like, that's a lot slower. Alright, so here's a little extra tip for you. What you'll notice is when you try to throw a flash followed by another flash, what happens is after you throw the first flash, your primary weapon gets pulled out. And the animation of loading your primary weapon slows down your ability to pull out your next flash. So the faster way to do it is to use a bind specifically through the console for your F key. Okay, if you want to be able to throw 2 flashes really quick back to back, what you're going to want to do is go into your console and type the following: bind, space, the key that you want to bind. In my case, I'm going to bind F. Put that in quotes, space, in other quotations, use, space, weapon, underscore, knife, semicolon, space, use, weapon, underscore, flashbang. Okay, what that's going to do is, after you throw the first flashbang and you hit F, it pulls out the second flashbang a lot faster. Alright guys, hope you found this video helpful. If you did, be sure to like, share, and subscribe. Until next time, get out there and stay average.